Yo, what's up, family? I'm Danielle Bay, and this is the Culture Effect Podcast, where we bring you content from the culture that affects you. Peace, peace, family. Yo, so as you can see today, my girl Danny B is on vacay, but she will be back next episode. But we also have a special guest for y'all today, man. Somebody that's really been putting it down for years and years in this Las Vegas hip-hop scene. I'm talking about a legend, bro, a real legend, man. And he's a personal favorite of mine. You know what I'm saying? My big homie, the one-man riot, the president of players, the one and only G-Man, Stacy G. So we're going to hop right into this interview. So, G, let them know how you got your first record deal.
Start from Fila Al. Fila Al was the one. Fila Al got me that record deal when he heard the Out the Crust joint. But he ain't hear it right when I put it out.
Right.
Yeah. He heard it probably almost a year later.
Right.
Because then I was DJing at the Rouge too at that point in time. And he came to me to play Candyman. He wanted me to play TNT, his artist. He wanted me to play all his artists. And so he brought the shit to me because I was DJ at the Rouge. And then you know, the Rouge was packed. I had that motherfucker on full. So, you know, everybody was
the Rouge was popping back in the day.
Right. You know, it was on full. So at that time, I said, okay, man, let me listen to it. Let me see what it is. So I listened to it and I liked it. I liked, especially the Candyman. I said, oh, so this shit is dope. So I played it, nigga, the whole dance floor just lit up. I was like, oh, hell yeah. See, right. Because I broke that record. LC wouldn't even play it because he took it to LC first. LC wouldn't play it on the radio.
Okay.
LC didn't play it until I played it in the Rouge and he saw how them motherfuckers liked it in the Rouge. Then LC started playing it. Because Candyman told me, he said, hey, man, LC, man, once you play this, LC won't even play it on the radio. I went to the radio station and he wouldn't play it. So I'm like, really? I was like, I listened. I think, I don't know what's wrong with LC because both of the tracks was dope and that was dope. So I was like, okay, this shit is dope, man. I don't know what's wrong with LC. But then after that, he played it. When he saw them motherfuckers like the LC started playing on KCP.
That Candyman knocking the boots was the truth.
Exactly. Right. That's all I'm saying.
It was hard.
Al had him. He had Big Sight before Big Sight was with Tupac.
That's Johnny crazy right there.
Johnny J was producing Candyman, Big Sight, and he was producing me.
And so Johnny J produced on One Man Riot.
Right, exactly. He produced on him and DJ Scratch produced on One Man Riot.
And that was your first major label deal.
That was my first major deal on Pump Records, a subsidiary of Capitol Records.
With the iconic poses with the guns.
Right, exactly.
Right. And then so after One Man Riot, what came after that?
After One Man Riot was Secret Indictment. That's what
Secret Indictment.
Secret Indictment came after that.
Secret Indictment. So when did Secret Indictment come out?
95.
95. Okay, so now I gotta ask you, for the people, what stopped that progression from you having a major label deal in 91 to not putting out no other music until 95?
Because in 90, I caught a dope case. When the One Man Riot album came out, it came because I did it in 89, but I got the deal in 89. It didn't come out until the summer of 90.
Right.
And when the day it came out, and I caught a dope case, I was in jail the same day that motherfucker came out. I went to jail. Yeah. I went to jail the same day that motherfucker came out. I caught a dope case. That's that part. And so I had to fight that case and beat that case before I can continue back into doing my music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then my manager kind of fucked that up too because the record company also at the time I'm in jail, I'm supposed to be on tour with Tupac and Spice One and them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it fucked up my promotional tour.
Let's rewind it a little bit. So I got a story. My big homie had told me, right? My big homie had told me, he was like, yo, I was with G in the 662, which is the nightclub Suge Knight had out here. Right. He said that y'all walked up on Dre and Dre wasn't looking at y'all. And he said Dre turned and seen you and said, nigga, where you been at?
Right.
So please unpack that story. So how do you know Dre and EazyE?
Well, I met EazyE at the Thompson Mac. When I first met him, it was at the Thompson Mac. And I was going to the Thompson Mac to meet this cat named Pat Christensen. He ran the Thompson Mac.
Okay.
And at that time, my manager was a concert promoter. So he introduced me to Pat, because he had done a lot of concerts there, and we had done some shows there. And he said, and Pat told me, he said, "Hey man, if you any show you want to come to, just come to me, and I'll get you an all access pass. You ain't got to worry about nothing." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, man, don't worry about it." I was like, "All right, cool." So
right.
It was the Def Jam '87 tour. LL was hot. That's when I Need Love was hot. Okay, EazyE was opening up that show, and so was Public Enemy. And I was going to the Thompson Mac. I was in the backstage part of the Thompson Mac trying to get a hold of Pat. I actually told the security guard, "Hey, man, get on your radio, call Pat Christensen and tell him Stacy G is at the back door, blah, blah, blah." But he didn't want to do it. The security guard didn't want to do it. He was fucking with me, giving me a hassle about it. And I kept telling him, I said, "Hey, man, all you got to do is call him, man, and just ask him. It ain't like you got to go find him. Just get on your radio, say it. And he going to tell you to let him in." He kept fucking with me. So EazyE saw this happening. He walked up, and EazyE looked at the security guard and told him, "Hey, he with me." And EazyE didn't know me from 10-2 then. He didn't even know me. He just said, "That nigga, he with me. Come on." And he took me to the dressing room, introduced me to everybody in NWA, and gave me an all access pass. EazyE did it.
Wow.
And he didn't even know me. That was the first time I met EazyE.
We have the Las Vegas legend, the one-man riot, the president of players, the one and only G-Man, also known as Stacy G. We got him in the building. This is the Culture Effect podcast. We thank him for coming out. We appreciate him. This is a legend in Las Vegas, and we just want the people to know we're going to give him his flowers while he's here. He's a beast in the streets, always have been. Y'all know who he is. All you can see is my dust. He used to play all the time when we was kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But continue with that story, OG. You say now, so after that, then what happened?
Now, after that, after that show, EazyE was in Vegas down there every other week. And you got to remember, I was doing parties here. So I'm doing shows on the strip. I'm doing parties on the strip. I'm in the hotels. I'm doing parties. I'm promoting my own shit, and I'm DJing and doing my thing out there. So EazyE was here all the time. So EazyE would pop up at a lot of my parties. Just pop up out of nowhere. Boom. And we just hang out and we kick it. So that's how me and EazyE got real cool. Because when I would go to LA, I would run into EazyE at the club. Maybe it was Water the Bush or the Century Club. Because Felix Al used to take me to the Century Club all the time. And he just love all the rapping cats used to be out hanging out at the Century Club back in LA, back in the day. So I would run into EazyE all the time down there here or in LA. But now, after that, and back in '88, a year later after that show, some promoters they brought NWA here to do a show at the Artemis Ham. Right. And they came to me, they called me and said, "Hey man, Stacy, we bringing NWA, man. We want you to open up the show. Man, would you open up the show for us?" Right. And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, man. Shit, this is no problem." I was like, "EazyE, oh shit, that's my nigga. No problem. I can definitely do that while we're talking." He's like, "Oh man, we're gonna do it on such and such so and so, we'll give you $1,000." I was like, "All right, cool, it's done, no problem." So I opened up that show and ripped that shit up, Artemis Ham Hall. And when I did that, I did a song called "I'm That Nigga." Yeah, "I'm That Nigga." It's on the One Man Ride album. If you look to that One Man Ride album, it's on that album. Yeah. And that was the song that Al got me to do. That's the album. Actually, Dr. Dre was supposed to produce the One Man Ride album. Because when I opened up that show, and I got off stage and I went to my dressing room, Dre came to my dressing room and said he wanted to produce me. And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, man, shit, the way you just controlled that motherfucker, man, and ripped it." I was like, he was like, yeah, nigga, I want to produce you. I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm thinking he was bullshitting with me. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he said, "Nigga, he got all my numbers right here, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna go down to Dallas and we'll be back in LA on Tuesday. Nigga, call me, boom. And we're gonna go from there." I called that nigga on that Tuesday, he answered the phone. He said, "Nigga, be down here this weekend." And boom. Wow. I came down there. He gave me his address. I drove to his house. I got in the car with him. He took me to the studio in Torrance. That's where the studio was at, in Torrance. You're right. In Torrance, California. And sometimes, since I was driving down every weekend, so sometimes I would drive to his house, or I would just drive straight to Torrance, California, to the studio. It depends on if I had a party to do or something. the night before. So I would say, okay, if I got a party tonight, I'm just gonna go tomorrow morning. You know, that kind of stuff. So that's how I went with me and Dre. But at the same time, Dre wasn't starting on my album yet. You know, because I'm coming down there every weekend, but he still ain't starting on. I had to do that for a couple of months, and he still wasn't starting on me. You know, and then when he finally finished doing Michelle A's album, I said, okay, well, damn, we finna do my shit now. So it's just gonna be on right now, right? But my boy Laylaw brought in Above the Law, the group Above the Law.
Laylaw from Above the Law.
Yeah, he brought them in, and Dre started producing them.
I heard that Laylaw and them was the ones that actually created that G-Funk sound, and Dre kind of took it from them. That's what I heard Laylaw and them say in the interview before.
I'll tell you who created that. What's the name created it? I'll tell you who created that shit.
Who?
Warren G. Because Warren G. They had that sound way before Warren G blew up. Him and Nate Dogg, they had did an album and Snoop. They had did a song called what the fuck was the name? I forgot it. I forgot the name. Are You High Yet or something? Are you high yet? It was a
I remember that. Yeah.
That was before they had got a deal or anything, and that's where the G-Funk come from. Warren G did that. Warren G,
and it makes sense because Warren G is Dr. Dre's stepbrother. So Warren G was all, and people don't understand this though. Warren G and Snoop them was at Ruthless with Dre, or at least Warren G was. Warren G was coming around Ruthless before Dre left.
Right, because Warren took me and DLC. See, when I was going down there, Doc was staying with Dre and Yellow. Okay, Dre and Yellow was roommates, and Dre was fucking Michelle A at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I would come down, Doc was sleeping on the floor in the living room. So when I come, Doc couldn't wait to see me because I had my own car. So he can get up and go. Because at that point, Doc couldn't do nothing. He ain't had no vehicle or nothing. So he couldn't move and let Dre move.
Right.
At that point in time. But me and Doc used to get loaded as a muffin. We'd go out and kick it. And Warren G took me and Doc to a club in Pomona. Right? And that's when Warren G found out I was a DJ. He didn't know I was a DJ. He just thought I was a rapper, Warren G. But when he took us to the club, I got on the turntables and I fucked that shit up. That nigga was like, God damn, nigga, you cold as a I didn't know you was a DJ. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I do all that shit. You know? So we all used to kick it. Warren G and me, DOC, we used to kick it. When I go down there, we'd kick it. We used to kick it like
you know what? And it's so crazy, man, that you have all these stories and people don't know about these stories. We need to do some kind of documentary on this because, man, it's very prevalent, man. Especially in today's society where you got these young cats coming out of Vegas. And it's a lot of young cats coming out of Vegas.
You know what's funny though? It's some people that do know the story, but they don't believe it.
No, I believe it.
There's some people that know the story, don't, but here's one cat that didn't believe it, right? And you know what he did? He ran into Dr. Dre. This is what's so funny. He didn't believe what I told him. And he ran into Dr. Dre. And Dre said, yeah, what that nigga, yeah, what Stacy, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And he couldn't believe it. Because Dre was with, as a matter of fact, Dre was with Michael Jackson's mama, Catherine Jackson at the time.
Catherine, right.
He was with Catherine Jackson at the time. And he had asked Dre about me, did he know me? And Dre stopped everything he was doing, and then he stopped. He was like, man, you wasn't lying. Dre said he do. He was asking about, he was wondering where you was at. And I was like, man, why would I lie to you? Why do I got to lie to you about that? You ever heard of Polymac?
Polymac, nah.
From here?
Nah.
Dre produced a song for them back in the day. Back in the 80s, Dre produced a song for them. They from here, but it really didn't do shit. But Polymac will tell you everything I'm telling you is the truth. Because Polymac, he know.
And you know what though? I just watched the interview with Jay Flex. He used to produce for Death Row. His name is Jay Flex out of Pittsburgh. And he used to produce for them. And the way he told his story, he said that he seen Dr. Dre at a stoplight. So I'm saying that to say this, Dr. Dre was very accessible back then. Niggas don't know. Like, see these youngsters, we talking to a younger generation now, G. You got to understand this. Now, I'll be 40 this year. But, I know, but these young cats don't know. See, back in the day, they know Dr. Dre, the Beats Dr. Dre. They know Beats and Eminem Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A Tupac Dr. Dre.
Right.
They don't know Dr. Dre when he was coming up, and he was accessible as same way as EazyE was too. They would get out and they would see people and they'd be like, yo, spit that rap for me. Or you got some music, and they will really mess with you.
So was I. See, when we was talking about that the other day, and I was telling you about something, so I was accessible too to everybody. It's just that the guys that rapped out here, they consider me as the competition. So they didn't want to work with me. They wanted to go against me. They always wanted to be the first. Oh, I'm gonna be the first to do this. I'm gonna be the first. And I kept telling them then, I said, hey, you can't be the first. Hurt 'em Bad was the first. How you gonna be the first and Hurt 'em was the first already? What, you gonna be the second first? You can't be the first. Hurt 'em was the first. So while y'all trying to be the first and not trying to work together, it's gonna make it harder for everybody.
We're gonna speak on that. We're gonna speak on some of the other artists that's out here from Vegas that came up in your era. Like Said Mac, Murder's Click, 420, and even after that, you had Eternal Click, Smoke Entertainment. We're gonna talk about that in a minute though. But I want to go to that Secret Indictment album. That Secret Indictment album, right?
Right.
That album right there was my favorite of yours.
That was my pet project right there. That was my pet project because it was the first album that I ever produced. So that I love that album. To this very day, that's my heart because that was the very first album that I ever produced. Man, hey, that album right there to me represented the lifestyle I was living at that time. And keep in mind, I ain't no old ass nigga, but I'm older, right? So in 95, when you put it out, I was like 13, 14. Right.
So this is at the height of gang banging, Vegas, you know what I'm saying? And I was doing my thing. I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. But during that time, I was doing them. And that album was one of the soundtracks to the things I was doing. Tell me, like all the artists you had, because before that, you really didn't have no other artists on your albums. I didn't hear too many other featured artists on One Man Riot, right? But when you came to Secret Indictment, you had a couple of artists on there. Talk about that. Artists and what you mess with them.
Remember when I told you that they only gave me 30 days to do One Man Riot?
Right.
So, and then back then, like I say, everybody back then they considered themselves as competition. So they didn't really want to work with you. They wanted to go and work against you. So it was hard to go and get, say, come on, man, I got this deal. You can get on the joint. It's hard to do that because they want to work. They want to go against the grain instead of try to work it together.
Right.
So that never came about. But I did work with cats that from LA because I didn't write that whole album. That whole One Man Riot album, I did not write. So it was cats from LA doing a lot of that writing. Fela Al and those cats, and scratching. They was doing a lot of writing on that. I wrote 3 songs.
Okay.
So because since we only had 30 days, it was like, get it done, get it done, get it done.
Right.
Secret Indictment, I was able to take my time because it's my label now. It's me. I ain't in no rush to do it, and I can get Las Vegas these niggas on there with me. You see what I'm saying? Right. And by that time, you got to understand the guys that I had to understand this now too. The guys that was on that album with me were way younger than me. They were teenagers.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, I was able to get those young guys and bring them in and show them the game on how you should do it. Because none of them had ever been in a real studio. Not one guy that I worked with had ever been in a real studio.
Right. So it makes sense that you say that the guys that was already out with you, they considered you a rival. So you went to the hood and got the youngsters.
There you go. Right. There you go.
Name some of the young cats. Who was it? Who was it? Who was it on the album? Low T? Was it Low T on that album?
Yeah, Low T, Fofo, Fat Dad, C Smoke, Fate, and my girl
Rest in peace, Fat Dad. Rest in pease, Fat Dad.
Rest in peace, Fat Dad. That's right. Rest in peace, Fat Dad. Yeah, but those were the people on there, and and a lot of them were from basically different neighborhoods.
ABM, Gerson, and Delmonico.
Yeah, in different spots. Me and Sid Mac was supposed to do some stuff together, but it just never panned out because he got himself caught up. Too. Certain things do happen, and certain rappers did want to work with me. The Murders Click, we were supposed to do some stuff together, but it never panned out. But the majority of the rappers wanted to work against you. That was with you. That was rapping with you during that time that I was rapping, should I say?
So let's go into since you brought him up, Said Mac, Murderous Click, and during the time that Secret Indictment came out is when these guys was out. So that's why I want to bring up these. Actually, it's three of them: Said Mac, Murderous Click, and 420. The guys from the Gerson,
right?
Black Rag, they were Black Rag Productions or something like that. And so, what did you think about those guys? Because they had talent to me, man.
Well, the thing about them, me and 420, we was all cool because what's the name was DJing, Redbud and all them. I said they all was looking up to me as DJing and rapping and shit. So I really helped a lot of those guys get going and as far as inspiration. Because
right.
I didn't try to not do parties with them, DJ, or try to do shit against them. I always try to work with them.
Right.
And I like because I like the DJ Mike, his brother. That nigga was cold. He was a dope ass DJ to me. I was like, okay, yes, there's certain niggas that could actually get down. Just everybody couldn't do what I could do. That's the only thing. But I didn't go against the grain with those cats because I liked what they did as well. You see what I'm saying? Because to me they was dope. They had the talent. They could rap. They had the DJs. Everybody. It didn't just come from really one neighborhood. It's just that certain neighborhoods always wanted to be the first to do something when you can't do that when it's already been done.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then a lot of them, all they want to do is talk about their neighborhood. They didn't really want to just have a party. Right.
Exactly.
I talked about everything. I talked about everything, and that's how I molded those young artists that I brought with me when I brought them in from Vegas. I said, okay, guys, I know you like to talk about shooting and shit and killing and every gun. I said, but I'm not gonna let you do that all on every fucking song. We got to have a subject and we got to stick to the fucking subject. It's like a paragraph. So I taught them how to actually take a title and stick to it. Concept. There you go. You stick to it.
Stick to it. Now, okay. After that, you had another little gap, right? So 95 to 99 is when All You Can See Is My Dust, or Desert Storm, rather, the album.
Right.
It's 95 to 99. So let the people know why was that gap like that? Because you got artists now that's dropping music right and left. So these youngsters don't understand the order that they had to go in back then when you had a deal, or even if you was doing it independently. Everybody wasn't dropping stuff every fucking year. Niggas was dropping shit every 2 years, whatever, right?
Because you don't want, and still today, you don't want to burn yourself out.
Oversaturate the game.
See, now they're doing, I'm going to tell you why they're doing it now. Now they're doing it like that because they're trying to get that 52 songs a year out.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That 52 game get you more streams. If you can release 52 songs a year, you get a lot of streams. You get them million streams or better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You get to making that money, that $20,000 a month or better. You see what I'm saying? That's what that's all about now. That's why you're putting out so much shit. But a lot of that shit ain't shit. Well, they just putting it out there. They gotta have them songs out there. Some of it catch on, some of it don't. Some of it catch on, some of it don't.
Do you consider Desert Storm your biggest album?
No, because Secret Indictment sells more. And One Man Riot.
Wow.
You gotta remember One Man Riot was worldwide all at once. Just that was a major deal. So that sold a lot of and then Secret Indictment still selling today. Because that's my label. I'm still selling that all around the world. I still ship that shit out all around the world today, to this very day.
Let's talk about Desert Storm. Desert Storm. Now, this album right here, man. Now, locally, I'm gonna give my opinion on it because I was a consumer, so I was outside looking in, right? And I'm just telling you what the streets said and what I seen as a youth. Not as no old head. I was, when Desert Storm came out in 99, I was like 17, 18.
Right.
That was your biggest album here locally, family. hold on, pause. Let me just say this real quick. Locally, now in the hood, Secret Indictment was for me all day. I already said that earlier. But locally, Desert Storm was your biggest album because of the single, All You Can See Is My Dust.
Here and Arizona, because both of them is the desert.
You know that if you get any youngster my age or younger until I'm gonna say it's about to like 25, and you mentioned Stacy G, you know what they're gonna say?
What's that?
All You Can See Is My Dust.
Yeah. They said
so that's why I say that was one of your biggest albums.
Well, locally, like you said, but lately, the last few years, and I was totally shocked at this myself, but 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds have been coming up to me saying, "Ain't you Stacy G?" And I say, "Yep." And then to look at their friends and say, "I told you that was him. I told you that was him in that video. I told you that, So I'm shocked that these young kids even know who I am. I'm totally shocked. I love it, bro. Right. But I am shocked that they know who I am, but they know who I am. I did more shows with the Desert Storm album than I did with the Secret Indictment album, but the Secret Indictment album sold more than the Desert Storm album.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy, but I mean that's the way it works. But you got to understand, the Secret Indictment album that was selling because I promoted that when I on my own label on St. Salem Records. That was selling before I even put it out.
Right.
It was before it hit the store. The Secret Indictment album was selling because they were sending me checks all around the world from all around the world to get it. They were pre-ordering it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I
can see that though. Yeah. I can see that though. I can see One Man Riot and Secret Indictment having more worldwide appeal compared to Desert Storm. Desert Storm was like regional. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like regional. It was like regional, but that shit was hard. That shit was big, man. And you had on Desert Storm, you had some other local rappers on there as well. You had Mighty Mac on there.
Yep.
I don't think Smoke was on there, huh?
No, I had several ties with Smoke back then. By that time, after Secret Indictment, I severed ties with Smoke.
At that point, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so we gonna move forward now. After Desert Storm, we didn't hear no more from G-Man. We didn't hear nothing else from G-Man after Desert Storm. Why is that?
Well, yeah, actually you did. You probably just didn't hear, but the album is called. It was a compilation called Volume 1. That's the one that that's the one that me and Sugar Free is on. That Sugar Free is on.
That song.
Yeah, that song is on that album. That came out in 2004.
Okay, that came out, and so after
that, that's when I stopped doing music. Period, to raise my voice. I got out of the music game.
No, right, and I remember that because I remember during that time, even though you had been on the radio before that, your radio presence went up further after the Desert Storm album, meaning you got on 88 with Mike P and Smooth C. See, people don't know Mike P and Smooth C, right? Had a show on 88 together.
Right.
You were on there at the same time as them, right?
No.
And so you're not at the same time?
No.
Okay. You was on there before or after?
Before.
So talk about that a little bit about your radio disc jockey days.
See, I was on the radio. I got on the radio in 1984. I was on the radio from 84 on KCP from 84 to 90, about 93, 94. I stopped because I basically stopped DJing in 93, but I used to do little stuff here and there. And then I totally quit basically in 94. I said,
when did you pick it back up though?
Huh?
When did you pick it back up?
I didn't. I stopped DJing. I was letting the radio station V108 use my name.
Oh, so you never DJ? I could have swore I heard you on the radio, big homie, talking about this V108, yada yada yada. I could have swore that.
That's not DJing. See, that's just an ad personality. I was doing that.
Huh?
What you're doing right now, you're a personality because you're the personality of Culture Effect. That's what the like Mike P and all. They're just ad personalities. They're not.
Okay. Now you teach it. I understand exactly what you're saying, and it makes sense because you would hear to this day. You will have like a Simply T talking, but DJ Benzo in the back spinning the records.
There you go. Yeah, I was on 2 stations at the same. I was the only DJ in here allowed to be on 2 commercial stations at the same time.
Yeah, man, that's dope right there.
Yeah, because actually they consider that a conflict of interest. But I was
of course it is. It actually is.
Yeah, but but their bosses let me do it. I was on Clear Channel and I was on Desert Sky Media at the same time.
Hey man, you Stacy G, so you know they're gonna allow you to do what you want to do in Vegas.
Hey, Smooth C tried to do it, and
they weren't fucking with Smooth C.
Hey, they told her, hey, if y'all try to go over there, and they say Stacy is the only one that has permission to go into the other radio stations. If anybody else tried to go, you're gonna get fired.
Hey, and I want to give a personal shout out though. I want to give a personal shout out to Smooth C and 88.1, Lawrence Weekly, Master and Mindsets. They're my people. That's my cousin them. Michael Adams, Labario Mays, LJ. They're my people over there, man, at 88.1, and they doing good things for the community, man. They got the youth out there going to different school. They're going to different schools and teaching these kids about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And so I commend them people for that, man. And now I want to go into that real quick with you because I know you had like some discussions with those guys. We ain't gonna get too deep though, and we ain't gonna get too disrespectful and nothing like that, big homie. Because I know I know your feelings about that. And so I just want to get your opinion on where you think 88 went wrong, because I think they're doing a good job.
It all depends on what you consider a good job. It all depends on what the radio station is supposed to be doing there. See, they say it's a community station, and all the stuff you're talking about, that's fine and good and dandy, but they're supposed to do that kind of shit. That's what you're talking about. The problem I have with them is that the station sound like some shit back out of the 70s and 80s, and they ain't really doing no serious local shit, putting local people on, or even supporting local artists and shit like that the way they should be supporting local artists. None of that shit. Right. They're taking the radio station and just begging people for money instead of figuring out a way to make money.
Let me elaborate. Let me elaborate on what you just said, because you said that shit sound like some shit from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s. I like that type of shit, my nigga. Hold on. I like getting in my car, turning on 88, hearing some motherfucking Stacy G, hearing some, you know what I mean? Hearing some EazyE Brothers. You dig what I'm saying? Hearing some Candyman. Here, you know what I mean? I like that. I like that, but at the same time, yeah, I want some new stuff popping.
Guess what?
But I look at it like this: it's demographics for everybody. G, it's a demographic for everybody. So
and guess what? I understand what you exactly said because I like it too. But guess what? That's not what they're doing. See, we back in the day, that's what we did. We didn't just stick to one thing. We played everything, so everybody got a chance to. Old school didn't have a day. Old school didn't have a day. Old school was played every day at a certain time of the day. You know, a certain time of the clock. Not just during the midday, but a certain time of the clock all day. See, and that way you can get all the good hip hop, you can get all of everything in. Everybody can enjoy the fucking radio station. And then nobody has to change the channel. And you don't have to listen to the same goddamn song over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
That's every radio station though, G.
Commercial stations. KCP is not a commercial station. So you got to understand what I'm talking about right here. I've been in radio since high school, Becky. So when those commercial stations do that because they're trying to keep certain listeners at a certain time, 88 has a chance. If this is what I'm trying to tell you. When I was on 88 back in the day, and we was going up against the commercial stations, they were losing.
Hey, family, make sure y'all go check out theculturegang.com where we got the merch popping. Culture Gang all day. Everybody that mess with us, talk to us, man. Let us know what y'all want in the comments. Please do. We love y'all, man, for supporting us. We're going to support y'all and do the same. You understand me? So log into Culture Effect Podcast, Culture Effect TV, like, subscribe, and do your thing, man. We'll see you on the up, family? You are now tuned in to the Culture Effect Podcast. We got Stacy G in the building, man. Hey, now we're going to go back to what we was talking about, family. 88.1. Now, we all know that 88.1 is a staple in the community. And I understand you got your discussions with them and all that. But like I said, man, I mess with them, man. You know what I'm saying? My family over there, Labario Mays, Michael Adams.
I understand. I only have problems with people in charge, not the people under them. The people under them are just doing their job. They're just doing what they want. Just the people in charge.
Okay, let's clarify that. Let's clarify that.
I understand that. I want everybody to make that understand, because it's not the people under. I fuck with a lot of those folks under that's in there that work at the station. I'm talking about the niggas in charge. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the guys under that. That's on the
elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, big homie, will be Craig Knight, Smooth C.
All the people in charge. Craig Knight, Smooth C, Larry Weekly, everybody in charge.
What's your gripe with them, though?
Smooth C wouldn't be there if Larry Weekly wasn't a groupie.
But what's your gripe with them, family?
What's my what with them?
What's your gripe? Where the hostility come from?
They're taking the station down. The station should be doing way better than what it's doing. It's losing all the listeners, man. All the listeners. They shouldn't be losing the listeners that they're losing to stations that's coming in from the outside. Like you said, this station is a pillar of the community, right? So why are you losing the community? You're losing the whole community. You're there, but you're still losing the community.
I could definitely dig it, man. And you're entitled to your opinion, man. You're a grown-ass man. You're entitled to your opinion. And that's what that is, man. I don't know what happened. I ain't trying to figure out what happened. I just know that you're entitled to your opinion, and you heard it here second or first, whatever, on the Culture Effect Podcast, man.
That's right.
Absolutely. And now,
we ain't got to go no deeper than that. We ain't got to go no deeper than that.
We're done with that. We're done with that subject.
Yeah,
we're done with the subject because, like I said, that's my family, man. That's my family over there, man. Simply T, them, all them boys, man. And okay, now check this out though. So now after you did the Desert Storm album,
yes, sir.
My homeboy, your little homeboy, my big homie, your little homie, came to me. His name is Enoch Feemster. His rap name is C Smoke, right?
He's my cousin too.
That's your cousin.
That's my cousin.
He came to me. He said, "Check this out, man." He said, "Yo, I ain't rocking with G right now, so I'm trying to get my own team." I'm like, "I'm down." So me and him start recording songs. Like singles and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
We recorded. I forgot those songs. It was so long ago. But we recorded like 2 songs, so on and so forth. And then the big homie father messed around and passed away. Rest in peace to Mr. Feemster, the elder.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away. Smoke ended up getting some loot from his father's death. You know, life insurance. And so he came to me. Actually, he didn't even come to me, but that's another story. I ain't gonna talk about that. But eventually he came to me and was like, "Yo, I need 3 songs from you." I'm like, "Cool." I do my thing. Bam, bam, bam. Marty did his thing. Bam, bam, bam. Tragic did his thing as well. I want to get your opinion on what you felt about that Smoke Entertainment album, Volume 1.
No, it was cool to me. Like I said, I liked the album because it was some of the producers that I liked, and the rappers on there that I liked. Because I liked everybody that was rapping. I just didn't understand what the fuck Smoke was talking about.
You said everybody else?
But everybody else, I just didn't understand what Smoke was saying. See, and that was one of the reasons why I severed ties with him, because I couldn't. He started the way he started rapping. It's like he changed his whole style up, and his words were connecting all them together, and it was like, well, okay, well, what are you saying? And then everybody that would hear the new stuff that he would be on with us, right, would say the same thing. Well, what is he saying? That's what they would say. What are you saying? What are you saying? Nobody knew what the hell he was saying. You know,
everybody would say that.
Everybody was saying that. Everybody. And it would be different if it was just me saying it. You see what I'm saying? But everybody that heard him, well, what the hell is he saying? What is he saying? What is he saying? You know?
Right.
It was like his lyrics was you couldn't understand. You couldn't understand what he was talking about.
Do you think he was talking he was rapping too fast, or he wasn't enunciating his words?
Man, I don't know what the hell was going on. I'm trying to tell you, I couldn't figure it out because it was like on Secret Indictment. On Secret Indictment, he was great. You see what I'm saying? And then once we get done with Secret Indictment and start going on other stuff, it starts like he changed into somebody new. It was like a whole new nigga. I was like, ooh, I don't know who the fuck this is, but it ain't C-Smoke.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. Look, that's my big homie. I liked the tracks he did on Smoke Entertainment. That shit was dope.
The thing is, can you hold the project on your own? That's always been my thing with everybody. Everybody that I worked with, can you hold the project on your own, or do you need to be in a group? That was always my thing. Can this artist stand alone, or do he need to be in a group? Can this artist stand alone, or do he need to be in a group? Can this artist stand alone, or do they need to be in a group? Smoke needed to be in a group.
Wow, hey, it's crazy that you mentioned that, man. Because during that time back in the day when we was all rapping, I had like 3 hours worth of music, G, by myself.
See?
3 albums, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I ain't gonna crawl with spilt milk. I got the Culture Effect podcast shit popping, Culture Effect TV. I'm fucking with my big homie, Stacy G from Las Vegas, Nevada. All you can see is my dust. And I appreciate this. I appreciate this. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what the universe has given me thus far.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. And that's what it's all about, baby boy. Appreciating your blessings and shit and keeping it pushing. You know.
Real talk. Real talk. We're gonna talk about one more thing before I go, man.
Yep.
What do you see Las Vegas hip hop going nowadays? Like, it's a lot of new artists.
Well, see, now I love it. You know, I love it even more now because there's more artists out there now that can help represent this Vegas. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I love it, because it was a few only back then. It was only a few. Like, and you can name them. You just did. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of artists, and I love it. It's a lot of artists that's helping me represent this motherfucker and to let it grow. Let them know this is Vegas hip hop is here to stay. It's here and it ain't going no motherfucking where. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. Yeah. I love that, because these youngsters today now they're more willing to work with me than those cats back in my generation were willing to work with me, because I'm learning from the young cats today. Now they teaching me shit already. This is I know they're willing to work with me because they already teaching me. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. It's a difference when these youngsters can teach you and you willing to learn from them, or you just want to talk shit about them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's just a totally different thing. So they teaching me, and then I'm teaching them at the same time. Right. Huh?
That's real spill right there. That's real spill. That's real spill.
No, for real. Dude, I wouldn't be producing today if it wasn't for a youngster that taught me how to produce on these goddamn computers. Because back in them days, I wasn't using computer to produce. I was using the actual hardware.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it was a young kid that taught me how to do this shit today. You see what I'm saying? So
no, absolutely.
I tell these old cats today, nigga, you can learn from these youngsters. All you gotta do is sit down and pay attention. They started teaching me once I decided to get back in the game. They started teaching me how to do the shit.
So you back now, G?
I'm back now. I'm back now, baby.
With that being said, big homie. With that being said, what's on the horizon for Stacy G and Insane Asylum Records, man?
Well, what's coming out in a couple of months is hashtag Las Vegas Nights. Stacy G introducing Pimpy Do featuring LVN. That's Las Vegas niggas. LVN. Stacy G.
Pimpy Do is your new artist?
Stacy G introducing Pimpy Do, the new artist, and featuring.
Is he in the building? Is Pimpy Do in the building?
No, he ain't in the building. That nigga won't even be seen with me.
Okay.
That nigga won't even be seen in public with me.
No, I could dig it. I could dig it. So you got that? You got that going?
And that Desert Storm Part 2 is coming. I'm working on that right now. Desert Storm Part 2, I'm working on that. And
okay,
All You Hear Is My Dust Part 2 is going to be on that. So if anybody out
I
there
gotta be on that one.
Well, there you go. Anybody want to
get
on it?
Hey, the same way that you want to rock out with Melly Mel, I gotta rock out with you, Gus, one time before I go.
But there it is. This is the chance. This is the chance because, like I said, I'm started. I already started on Desert Storm Part 2 because that hashtag Las Vegas Nights is done. That's already done.
Okay.
So I started on Desert Storm 2. So all you got to do now is you already got my shit, so you know how to get a hold to me. And anybody else want to get down, on Instagram, Stacy_G Vegas. On Facebook, Stacy G Vegas. On Instagram, Stacy_G Vegas. On Facebook, Stacy G Vegas. You can DM me if you want to get on that. All you can see is my Dust Part 2 or the Desert Storm Part 2 joint. Just get at me, and we're gonna make that shit happen. That's all you got to do. Yeah.
Hey, say man, there you have it. We have the Las Vegas legend, the one-man riot, the president of players in the building. He's signing off, man. I want to take this time out. I want to take this time out to thank everybody that came through that's watching this video. Make sure y'all hit the likes. Make sure y'all subscribe, family. The only way we're gonna make this thing bigger is that y'all subscribe and get it out there to the people. Tell your friend, tell your family. You know what I'm talking about? Tell your uncle, tell your cousin.
Hey, subscribe to this shit, podcast. Yeah, subscribe, pimping. Subscribe right now. Don't be hesitating to wait. Push the button. Push the button,
man.
Push the button.
Hey, when we started off, once again, it's been another Culture Effect podcast classic. We out of here, family. Peace, God.
Peace.